Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. So it is that time of the month once again where we get our silhouettes from Kaz himself over on Twitter, and well, it may be disappointing for some and maybe kind of exciting for others. It really is a mixed bag this month. So let's go ahead and have a look at the silhouettes themselves. As you can see, there is only 3 cars coming this update. However, they're well, a little bit special, especially this front one, which I'll talk about first and foremost. But yes, there is 3 cars coming. They have been officially confirmed as well by Nenkai just as I was about to make this video, so it does seem that I'm pretty much spot on. I'll kind of tell you my guesses originally and then I'll tell you what they actually are. So yeah, let's get into it. 3 new cars. Again, like I said, you know, this is going to be a mixed bag for some. Some may love them, some may absolutely hate them. So let's get into car number 1, the front car first, and that is going to be a Ford Maverick from 1971. Now, this is a custom one. This will probably be the exact model that will come to the game. As far as I know, I believe it's kind of a SEMA winning car. I believe it won an award way back in 2018, so it isn't a recent SEMA winner either, to be quite honest. I'm unsure if this car's really still going. In fact, I don't know too much about it. I've seen images over the years on the internet. From what I can gather, this is a 200 miles per hour custom 1971 Ford Maverick, award-winning car. In all honesty, I'm rather quite excited about this one. To be honest, I think this is going to be something a little bit different. It could kind of fall into the, you know, I guess the same category of the Roadster Shop Rampage, which we got. But in all honesty, I think this is overall just a cooler car. It's definitely going to be, again, dividing opinions. It's a custom car. It's not the original model or anything like that. You can tell just, you know, what this car is just from looking at the hood of it. It matches up perfectly. Same with the front splitter, and even kind of the silhouettes on the wheels from the silhouette pretty much match up, you know, pretty much spot on with this car. So yes, that is car number 1. It is the 1971 Greenings Custom SEMA winning Ford Maverick. So let's go straight back into the silhouette, and this time we're going to head over to the far right hand side. Now this is again one that was catching a lot of people out. A lot of people were thinking maybe it's the R32 GTS, and me originally that's what I, you know, presumed this would be. And a lot of people were thinking it was possibly the R31 Nissan Skyline. I can confirm it is a Nissan Skyline. However, it is the Nissan R32 Nismo model, so it's much more aggressive. This is the 1990 model. I think this is again one that caught a lot of people out, mainly just because you could tell it was a Nissan Skyline, but people were unsure. Now, I'm not too sure on this one, to be quite honest. For me personally, you know, I get it's a rare model. I believe like 500 of these things were made originally, but to me, does it differentiate enough from, say, the R32 GTR that we've already got? Yes and no. You know, for a lot of people that might not be, you know, die-hard JDM Nissan Skyline fans, then it probably isn't different enough. But, you know, part of me does really appreciate that we are getting the Nismo model, obviously, just for its rarity. It is a very, very cool car overall. In terms of, you know, what it is, it's going to be fairly similar to the R32 GT. I don't expect anything massively different. Again, that's kind of where it kind of irks me a little bit, that it's just, okay, it's a different model, it's a Nismo model, it's the more, you know, aggressive model, but to be quite honest, does it differ enough from the GTR that we've already got, the R32? In kind of a one way, no. In kind of another way, yes. And I know what the majority are going to say. It's basically a copy paste. You know, you saw that a lot with the Silvias and such. So, you know, this might be you know, a Skyline fan's absolute wet dream, but then on the other hand, for the majority of fans, I know a lot of people are going to be quite like, yeah, it's just too samey. So, you know, this is the 1990 R32 Nismo GTR, and it is coming along with the update. So let's move into the final car. We'll quickly go back to the silhouette. So last one is the rear car, so the one at the foreground of the image, or whatever it is, the background. Yeah, okay, so this is another one, again, catching a lot of people kind of out there. Originally, straight away, I thought Alfa Romeo, you know, the Giulia, the 1960s classic car. I've seen plenty of these racing over the years. It's got to be that. But then kind of as I looked at the curves and such, I thought, this could be some type of old BMW. But this one has thankfully officially been confirmed yet again by Nenkai, the hero and saviour of Gran Turismo. So yeah, this is the original one that I assumed it would be. This is the Alfa Romeo Giulia, I believe, GT Sprint Veloce, or whatever you want to call it. I probably absolutely butchered that. But yeah, if you've ever been into classic car racing, you've probably seen a bunch of these racing over the years. And in my opinion, I am very, very excited to have this car in the game. In my opinion, it is one of the best looking cars to ever roll out of any car factory ever. It's an awesome machine. I could definitely see some pretty funky builds being made with this one, especially if you like to turn some of these classic cars into, you know, period correct race cars. So yeah, this is the Alfa Romeo, the one I was originally believing it was. It is not a type of BMW. So yeah, there you go. Those are the 3 cars. Now I've seen a lot of mixed kind of opinions on all 3 of these in the kind of comment section on Twitter and such. Yeah, okay. So let's have just a quick little debate before I go. So a lot of people are desperately wanting more race cars, and I could not agree more. If the rumors are true, there will be a lot more race cars down the line. You know, these could involve stuff like hypercars, maybe more DTMs and such, who knows. But those are just kind of rumors for now until we get anything official. But to be quite honest, I can understand why people just want race cars, should I say. At the same time, they are very, very useful, but then they're all almost kind of, you know, mainly around sport mode and stuff. There is a lot of players that have maybe just kind of started out with the original Gran Turismos that aren't too bothered about the, you know, kind of sport mode and stuff, that might just want to kind of have that original Gran Turismo experience. And for those of you that maybe either never bothered playing the games back then, or maybe just, you know, weren't old enough for those, you know, Gran Turismo wasn't just about race cars. You know, I see a lot of people that want the race cars as possibly people that came along with GT Sport, you know, was more into the esports scene and the, you know, the proper official racing scene for GT Sport mode and stuff like that. Yeah, it kind of wasn't all about that. There was a lot of road cars. However, I do think we need a nice balance. There does seem to be a massive overshadowing of kind of road cars to race cars. I certainly definitely, you know, fully agree with people that say that roster of GT4 and GT3 cars needs an update, you know, getting one every kind of 5 months or so, like the, you know, the 2018 GTR updated model and then the AMG last month. It just doesn't seem quick enough for a game that has these cars very prominently featured in sport mode. So I can definitely see that side of the argument, but then I can also see the side of the argument for maybe the single player gamers that maybe only play single player, that want the more kind of, I guess, original Gran Turismo experience. You know, you used to start out with more road going based cars and work your way up to the race cars and such. But I also think that is not helped by the fact that obviously events wise it doesn't really go in the same way as, you know, previous Gran Turismo titles. They're like, okay, yeah, at the start of the game you started out with some, you know, typical little, you know, hatchback and family get about, and then eventually worked your way slightly up. But, you know, it was quite easy even then, if you kind of did licenses and stuff, that you could basically just, you know, go in with a Porsche or something like that very early in the game. It kind of is the same way as it has been in other Gran Turismo games, where there were kind of exploits for faster cars and stuff. But yeah, the debate will just rage on forever, and at the end of the day, my opinion is I'm just happy to get cars, to be quite honest. There's a lot of games that will come out and they'll just get pretty much abandoned. Do I think they're always picking the right choice of cars for what players want? No. Again, licensing issues, who knows really what's going on at Polyphony, who knows what they can and can't get the licenses for. You know, it's a pretty, you know, I guess more business-like decision to see really what they can do. But then at the same time, we all know that Polyphony is holding back the likes of, you know, Pikes Peak, you know, stuff like that, that they do have, you know, I guess sole licensing for, and we haven't heard anything about that for a very, very long time. And I believe they've had the license as far back as like 2017 as well. So, you know, quite some time to not have that put in your game when you're the only ones that can really get that put in your game. Hence why Pikes Peak was in the likes of Dirt Rally 1 and then not Dirt Rally 2. So, yeah, look, there is a lot more to it than just, you know, they can get any car you want in the game. You know, I'd absolutely have a massive list, probably pages long, of cars I want from previous Gran Turismo games, and more modern cars and more modern and different brands that I want within the game. But again, it all comes down to licensing, and in terms of the road car versus race car debate, you know, to have a mix of both would be absolutely perfect, especially for a numbered Gran Turismo title. That's kind of the way it always worked. You had a nice selection of race cars and a nice selection of road cars, you know, and I think that's the way they really need to go, you know, I guess down the line, because let's be honest, these cars are not really going to fulfill that kind of itch and craving for a lot of the fans. But at the end of the day, these are going to be very detailed cars. They're awesome in their own right, you know, take of that what you will. But yeah, let's be honest, who knows, they're not going to please everybody. So that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I just thought I'd kind of have a bit of a debate at the end there, because you just see it all the time, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, you know, look, they can't please everybody, they never will. But I definitely think they need to go a different way about, you know, kind of having a nice mixture of both, and definitely getting those GT4 and GT3 cars up to date, even the kind of the hypercars that they, you know, seem to have an IMSA license for and such, that still haven't appeared. So who knows when we'll get them. I'll see you all later on, guys. Have a fantastic day. Peace.